There was once a thief named Ethan, feared and admired across the land. He was no ordinary thief. He claimed he could open any lock, any chain, and any door, no matter how strong or complex. His legend grew so big that even the richest merchants and kings feared him. "Ethan can escape any prison," they would whisper. "No lock can hold him." For years, Ethan lived by this reputation. No jail could keep him. Whenever he was caught, within hours, sometimes minutes, he would pick the lock, slip through the shadows, and vanish into the night. One day, Ethan was caught stealing from the royal treasury. The king, furious but intrigued, said, "I've heard of your skills, thief, but this time you won't escape." The king called his most cunning advisor, an old man named Rufus, known not for strength but for his ability to play with the mind. "Don't waste iron or steel on this man," Rufus said. "His real strength isn't in his hands, it's in his belief that no lock can hold him. We'll turn that belief against him." Ethan was taken to a dark, isolated cell. As they pushed him inside, Rufus leaned close to his ear and whispered, "Welcome to the world's hardest lock. No one has ever escaped this prison. Not even you." Ethan smirked. "We'll see." The heavy iron door slammed shut. As the footsteps faded, Ethan pulled out his hidden lockpicks and kneeled by the door. His hands worked swiftly, but he couldn't find the lock. He tried again, running his fingers over every corner of the door. Nothing. Confused, he muttered, "Where is the lock? There must be one." For hours he searched. For hours he tried to imagine where the mechanism was hidden. This must be a trick, he thought. "It's the hardest lock in the world. I just need to find it." Night turned into day. Ethan's hands were bleeding from scratching the door, yet he found nothing. He began to doubt himself for the first time in years. Days later, Rufus returned. Ethan, exhausted and trembling, shouted, "Tell me where the lock is." "I can't find it." Rufus smiled and said, "There was never a lock, Ethan. The door was never locked, it was always open. But you locked yourself in with your mind." Ethan collapsed in silence, realizing the truth. His belief in the hardest lock had trapped him more than any iron door ever could. After Rufus revealed the truth, Ethan sat in shock. The door, it was open all along. He dragged himself to the door, pushed it, and it creaked open without resistance. No chains, no locks, no iron bolts, just a simple wooden door. For the first time in years, Ethan felt powerless. It wasn't a wall or a guard that had stopped him. It was his belief. The whisper that this is the world's hardest lock had trapped him more effectively than steel ever could. Ethan collapsed against the wall, remembering Rufus's words. "Sometimes," Rufus said, "the strongest prison is built inside your mind. We tell ourselves this is impossible, and we never try the simplest solution to push the door." He thought about his life. How many times had he believed a challenge was too hard? How many opportunities had he walked away from because he thought the lock was unbreakable, when in reality, the door was wide open? When Rufus returned, Ethan asked, "Why did you do this to me?" The old man smiled. "Because your talent is wasted if you don't understand one truth. The hardest locks are the ones you imagine. I wanted you to see that your fear, your assumptions are what truly hold you back." Rufus continued, "Ethan, you are skilled. But skill without belief in simplicity is useless. You overcomplicate everything. Sometimes life doesn't need a key. It just needs you to try." Ethan stepped out of the cell. For the first time, freedom felt different. Not because he had escaped another lock, but because he had unlocked his own thinking. He realized that he wasn't just a thief of doors and locks. He had been stealing from himself all along by limiting his mind. Weeks later, Ethan disappeared from the world of crime. People whispered about how the lockbreaker had vanished. But the truth was, he had started a new life. Ethan began teaching young apprentices not about picking locks, but about picking the locks of fear and self-doubt. He would tell them, "Most doors in life aren't locked. We just assume they are. The moment you stop waiting for a key and push with courage, you'll realize freedom was always yours." Moral of the story. This story reminds us that the strongest barriers are often not outside, but inside our own heads. How many dreams have we left behind because we assumed it's too hard, it's not possible, or I don't have what it takes? The truth is, many of those doors aren't locked. We just never try to open them. What's one dream or goal you've been holding back from because you thought the door was locked? Comment below. And if this story inspired you, like and subscribe to Unspoken TV for more life-changing stories. Share this video with someone who needs this reminder today.